Hello students, welcome back to the science class. Previous session we have completed our environment lesson. In this session we are going to see about unit 5 plants in daily life. Let's see the lesson. Plants in daily life. We are living in a green planet. Plenty of natural plant resources are around us. Economic botany basically deals with all preventing plants in relation to human welfare as food, clothing, shelter, and medicine, either directly or indirectly. Indirect usage includes the needs of man's livestock and the maintenance of the environment. The benefits may be domestic, commercial, environmental, or aesthetic. Plants bring about economy to the country in large extent, and it is a fact that the wealth of any country largely depends upon its agriculture and plant products. Economic botany is the study of relationship between people and plants and the uses of plants in economy. From the earliest time, rice, wheat, and millet have been a staple food of the vast population of India, as indicated by the presence of charged grains in most of the vacation sites. But about the existence and usage of several crops of economic importance. So plants, importance of trees, the importance of trees. Remove carbon dioxide, reduce erosion, prevents flooding, add oxygen, cools our houses. Next, provide medicine and provides fruit. So these are the importance of trees. In this lesson, let us discuss about the different crop plants of economic uses in relation to mankind. Based on their economic values and uses, plants may be broadly classified as follows. Plants as food, spice yielding plants, medicinal plants, fiber yielding plants, timber yielding plants, and ornamental plants. So these are the economic values and uses and plants may be classified. Let's see one by one. Plants as food. Plants are the main sources of food for humans. These plants are known as food plants. Do you have a vegetable garden in your house? Have you ever seen harvesting of ripened vegetables? We eat different parts of plants such as root, stem, leaf, seed, unripe and ripe fruits. We can classify the food plants vegetables, cereals, pulses. Plants also give us coffee, tea, sugar, and raw materials for oil. First, vegetables. We get vegetables from different parts of the plants. Next, roots. For example, roots. Beetroot, carrot. Next, leaves. Curry leaves, cabbage. Stems. Potato, yam. Next, flowers. Banana flower, cauliflower flower. Next, fruits. Amla and guava. Next, cereals and pulses. Cereals are edible components of grain of cultivate grass. For example, rice, wheat, millet. Next, pulses. Pulses are edible seeds of plants, legumine family. Pulses are secured in pots. For example, Bengal gram, green mung bean. These are example of pulses. Spices. Spices are aromatic parts of tropically plants traditionally used to flavor the food. Spices come from the bark or roots of certain plants, leaves, flowers, or stems of plants primarily used for flavoring, coloring, or preserving food. And spices used in India. Following spices are included in a variety of Indian dishes: cardamom, black pepper, curry leaves, fenugreek, fennel, ajwain, bay leaves, cumin, coriander seeds, turmeric, cloves, ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon. These are the Indian spices. Next, medicinal plants. Some of the plants around us are good in healing our diseases. We call these plants as medicinal plants. They alleviate burns, cut, cold, fever, sneeze, and more. Some chemical compounds in the medicinal plants act against insects, fungi, and certain germs. Medicinal plants are considered as rich resources of ingredients which can be used in drug preparation. I give you some of the medicinal plants and their uses. First, amla, pus used fruit. The medicinal use: cure vitamin C deficiency diseases like scurvy, improve immunity. Next, tulasi, leaves and seed, cough, cold, bronchitis, expansion. Next, aloe vera leaves, lactive, wound healing, skin burns, and allergy. Next, neem parts of used bark, leaf, and seed. And the medicinal use of neem is skin diseases. Clear? Skin diseases. Fiber yielding plants. Plants which give us fibers necessary for our uses are called as fiber yielding plants. The fiber from these plants can be spun into thread, rope, and cloth. These fibers are called as natural fibers. We can classify the fiber yielding plants into two types based on the uses and the parts of the plant from where we get the fiber. Based on use: textile fiber, cordage fibers, filling fibers. The examples are textile fibers making cloth, cotton. Next, cordage fiber making rope, example coconut fiber. Next, filling fibers making mattresses, for example silk cotton. Next, based on the plant parts. Plant fibers include seed hairs, for example cotton. Next, stem are based fibers, example flax and jute. Next, leaf fibers, example agave. Husk fibers, example coconut. Timber yielding plants. The wood needed for the construction of buildings and making of furniture are obtained from certain plants. We use wood for these purposes due to their features like durability, stylish finishing, and resistance to temperature changes. All commercial timbers are classified into two classes as hardwoods and softwoods, based essentially on their structure. First, hardwoods. Hardwoods are angiosperms, the largest group of land plants. High quality furniture, desks, flooring, and wooden construction are being made only using hardwood. For example, teak and jackfruit. Next, softwoods. Softwoods come from gymnosperm, non-flowering plants, trees. Certain angiosperms also yield software. Softwoods. Softwoods have a wide range of applications such as making plywood, wooden boxes, medium density fiberboard, and paper making. For example, pine. Next, ornamental plants. Plants which are grown for aesthetic reason are called as ornamental plants. Producing flowers from floral plant is the important section of horticulture. For example, jasmine, rose, to decorate houses, gardens, and parks. We are planting shrubs such as herbs, crepe jasmine, and cordons, and climbers like mullei and almond trees such as golden shower tree, mandarin, and delcia tree. Interrelationship between plants and animals. Animal plant interaction. Animals rely on plants for their food and shelter. This relationship benefits not only animals but also plants. Such relationship is economically significant. For example, silkworms feed on mulberry leaves and live off mulberry plants. This relationship between a worm and a plant is economically useful for us in silk production. Next, animal pets and birds are essential for cross pollination of plants. Bright colors of flowers, smell, and honey attract insects. As the insects go from one flower to another, they leave the pollen grains from their body. This results in cross pollination and the formation of vegetables and fruits. These insects, pollinator, and birds need to produce the best yield. Bees are the best pollinators. They also give us honey. And plants and algae living in coral reef are the food for variety of fishes. Fishes' work is done in these areas. So animals and birds play an important role in spreading seeds of various plants. The digestive enzymes in the digestive system of the birds soften the protective layer of the seeds and make it easier to germinate. These other uses of plants maintain soil fertility, prevent soil erosion, biofuels, rubber and natural plastic, and neem oil coated yarn. The paper we use comes from the bamboo plant. The pencil eraser we use are made of rubber. We get rubber from the juice of the rubber tree. Rubber is also used to make tires and pipes. We get gum from the agar tree. Gum is also used to make glue. Plants are home to many animals, and insects, birds, and small animals live on plants. Plants keep the air we breathe fresh and clean. We use flowers and leaves of some plants for a group of flowers. Bouquet. Garlands are made from flowers. So these are the other uses of plants. Thank you, children. We have completed plants in daily life lesson. Thank you. We'll see the next session.